vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. This is the Nexus. It holds together the northern land of Boletarian. Thou canst not exit the Nexus, but each of the 5 archstones will connect into another.
Hello everybody, I'm Matrix Andrea, and this time we're going to be playing Demon's Souls Classic on the PS3. This is New Game 7, so it's going to be a little bit harder. Let me show you my build before I get started. I followed a similar template with the remake, except this is a prototype. That's why her endurance is a little bit high, and her level's 130 instead of 125. I wasn't sure exactly which shield I wanted to use. I was originally going to use the purple flame shield, and it's a little bit heavier than the steel shield, which is comparable, but I eventually settled on the steel shield in the remake so I could keep her build level a little bit lower. Alright, let's start with World 1. First things first, because I always play as a faith build, I'm casting Second Chance, which gives you 50% of your health back if you die. And it's invaluable in the harder difficulty levels. I think I'm in pure white world tendency, so the gate there is open, but I'm not going to run through. There's a colorless demon soul in that area, and also Executioner Meralda, but I don't want to fight her and pick up the demon soul because I don't want to end up warping back to the Nexus after I pick it up. So right now I'm using Istarel, my favorite spear in the game, which works well for faith characters. It raises your resistance to poison and plague, but it's not the most super powerful weapon you can pick up. I still really have a soft spot for it, and it's one of my primary weapons. So be honest, who saw this in their first playthrough and jumped down there thinking you'd get something? I know I did, but that's a death pit. Istarel does mainly magic damage, so when you stab enemies through their physical shields, it'll still hurt them quite a bit. It was my oldest friend that told me about Demon's Souls way back in 2009. We were talking on Xbox Live, and he had mentioned this game to me. And one day when I went out to my local mall movie theater to see Where the Wild Things Are, I randomly went into GameStop and I decided just to pick this game up on a whim. And I'm glad that I did, because it turned out to be my game of the generation for the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. Back in those early days, it was pretty busy. I was afraid to play in body form because I didn't want to get invaded. Although the community back then was a lot less, well, they were a lot nicer than they are in the present era. I remember the first time I was playing in 4-1 and somebody invaded me while I was in body form like 2 seconds after I got there, and I saw them kneel down, and I ran up to try to attack them, and I got firestormed, and it killed me pretty much immediately. Ostrava's down there, but I'm not going to bother rescuing him this playthrough. I don't feel like dealing with him and all the trouble he gets into. Clearly, I never really go this way. That's why I wasn't expecting to get blown up when that happened, but the purple flame shield blocks 90% of fire damage, so I'm not too worried about it. Through that pathway there is the Dregling Merchant that you can buy a few things off of, but I don't need anything from him. Fighting more than one enemy at a time in these early Souls games is not a good idea, but blocking and countering works very well in the early games, so it's not that big of a deal if you block and hit anything, because your stability on your shields tends to be pretty high. And I always use a great shield anyway on Demon's Souls, so I don't have too much to worry about. Stuff that staggers people with smaller shields doesn't tend to stagger me. I like how smooth all those boulders look. Like, what kind of natural rock actually looks like that? Anyway, back in the early days of this game, there used to be world tendency events. World tendency is when you're in body form and you die too many times, it'll turn the world blacker and the enemies get tougher, and black phantom enemies will start to show up. And if you beat bosses without dying, then the world tendency lightens, the enemies get easier, and you get more healing items to pick up. and I am in pure white. Ordinarily, there's two dragons sitting on that cliffside right there, and one of these dragons would burn the bridge that's coming up ahead, kind of like it does in Dark Souls, which is where that idea must have come from. Anyway, back in the early days, those world tendency events were fun. Like, I remember in Halloween 2009, it turned everything pure black, and I was getting wrecked by the black phantoms in the worlds, especially Satsuki in World 4. Everybody's most hated. See, ordinarily when you run up on this bridge, a dragon appears at the end of it and it burns all the soldiers that are sitting here. But because I'm in pure white, I have to kill everything myself. One of the reasons I always block when I'm using my spear is because she lunges forward when you're not blocking, and that's a good way to dance yourself over the edge if you're near a cliff. But if you're poking while you stand still, or poking with your shield up, you'll stand still and stab. That lever opens up the pathway to the first boss, the Phalanx. Here's the large sword of moonlight, which cuts straight through shields, so you don't have to worry about enemies blocking you. I really only use this against the Phalanx enemies in the first stage, though. I don't really use it anywhere else. Well, there's a few in the second part of the first world that I use it on, but that's pretty much it. See, ordinarily your attacks would bounce off that shield that those things are carrying. Alright, so here's the first boss, and I'm going to equip myself with all of my regen gear and go kill it. To get into World 1-3, you have to defeat an archdemon before you can progress, so you have to wait on World 1, and I'm going to go out and do World 2 before I do this, but in the video I'm just going to cut ahead and you're going to see all of World 1 right here. Before I do that, though, I'm going to go back to the Nexus, and I'll show you that I'm in New Game 7, and I'll show you all the boss souls that I have. I've got 6 of each of most of them that I didn't use to make weapons, so let's do that real quick. You can see here that I've got 6 eroded demon souls, 6 wriggling demon souls, 6 pureblood demon souls. So I am in New Game 7, and I'll pick up the 7th souls in this playthrough. Hi everybody. From your perspective, I just got finished fighting the Phalanx and I'm about to move on, but from my perspective, I've finished World 2, so we're going to move on through the rest of World 1. I didn't bother with Astrava's quest line, so he's not down there, and that's good because I didn't feel like dealing with him in this playthrough. So up here on this bridge is a dragon that will burn everything, and I'm going to kill it, but I'll cut that out of the video so nobody has to watch me shoot a million arrows at it. You can see how that thing kills the frame rate when you're watching everything burn. I'm going to equip the Clever Rat's Ring because I'm going to get into hyper mode and kill it, but like I said, I'm not going to make everybody watch me do that. My plan here is to get shot by archers until hyper mode activates or the Clever Rat's Ring activates, and then I'll kill both of them and shoot the dragon down. So for hyper mode, you also have to equip the Morion Blade, and that stacks your damage. Alright, I'm going to cut it ahead in just a minute. Alright, so that's the dragon down. It took more than a few arrows to kill it. That's why I didn't want to force everybody to watch me doing it. Now we can move on. I'm not going to go down underneath the bridge this time. I have no reason to since Astrava is not down there. I'm just going to stay on top of the bridge. So, in the earlier part of this video, I was talking about how Demon Souls was my game of the generation from the PS3 era. But what did I think about Dark Souls when I heard that was going to come out? Well, I was excited. I followed the news for it before it did because I was hyped that the spiritual successor to this game was coming out. So when it came out in October 2011, I'd been making plans to travel out of the country for the first time in my life. I went to England that year when I was 30 years old. So when Dark Souls came out, that was mainly what was on my mind. I was thinking about how I was going to be traveling soon and worried because I'd never done anything that big before. And, you know, I was hyped for Dark Souls when it came out and I had fun playing it, but I had more on my mind at the time. So I played it for part of the month of October. And then at the end of October 2011, I flew away and, visited England. Mainly what I remember about that time in my life is farming the forest NPCs on the morning that I left. The Darkroot Garden NPCs. I was killing them, and then I was thinking about how I was going to be flying away soon after that, and I just couldn't get my head around playing Dark Souls, so I turned it off and I ended up playing Raiden 4, a shoot 'em up, for most of that morning on my Xbox 360. And then, I flew away and I was gone for a week. And then when I came back, even though I'd been playing Dark Souls off and on for about a month, I couldn't get back into it when I got home. So I put it on the shelf and ended up not picking it up again until January 2012. So I like Dark Souls, but to me, I think Demon Souls is still better because I played this one first. Alright, we got another boss coming up, so I'm going to mute my mic and then I'll finish what I was talking about after I get to the next stage. So if you play this just World 1 without defeating an archdemon, you get to this point and it won't let you pass the fog wall right there in front of the door. But since I killed the archdemon in World 2, we can move on through this area. Alright, so what I was saying about Dark Souls, I agree that it's got some superior mechanics compared to Demon's Souls, like poise and not getting stun locked the way you could in Demons with the Murden Hammer. But there's things that I don't like about it too, like the weight restrictions were ridiculous. If you get over 25% of your weight, you start mid-rolling, and that just makes the game almost unplayable for me. I did like the Covenant system, though. It's more a matter of I played Demon's Souls first, so I don't like Dark Souls quite as much as Demons. Also, something that really got on my nerves was you spend your time making a nice looking character and then you start out as a zombie. The trade-off for not looking like a zombie is that you took the risk of being invaded, and while I don't mind PvP, I'm a PvE guy, and it just really annoys me when somebody starts bothering me while I'm trying to play my game. One of the things I don't like about the Souls games in general is that there's no way to set it to where you can have all the online capabilities like bloodstains and messaging, which is the only things I really care about online. Unless you're playing in online mode and you have to risk being invaded, or you can just be stuck looking like a zombie. So I always settle for playing offline, and then I just deal with the lack of messaging and bloodstains and, you know, player ghosts. I like seeing that stuff. I wish there was a way to set it to where you don't have to do online co-op or PvP and still have things like bloodstains and messaging. That would have made me happy, but I just took what I could get. As far as Dark Souls 2, when that came out in 2014, I was hyped and excited when I heard some of the things they talked about on, you know, websites. I didn't follow all the news that heavily on it. I just assumed it was going to be good because Demons and Dark was, you know, both of those games were really good. But then Dark Souls 2 came out and I was hyped for it, and I was let down to start with. Main reasons I was let down by Dark Souls 2 was because of the adaptability stat was one of the things, and also the weight restrictions on your rolls. And the main thing that bothered me and still bothers me now was your tinfoil weapons. I mean, they break so fast, it's ridiculous. In Demons in Dark 1, it takes forever to break your weapons, but in Dark 2, I mean, unless you're carrying repair powder, you better prepare for your weapon to break. Also, I think that the enemies get too spongy at higher new games. I like playing Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 at New Game 7 because that's just what I'm used to. But Dark Souls 2 was, you know, the enemies got really spongy and you're having to hit them so much and your weapons break so fast that it just really got on my nerves. That's why I won't play Dark Souls 2 beyond New Game Plus before I start over with a different character. And I really don't like having to start new characters in the Souls games. I like to make a character once and then never bother doing it again. Keep all of my weapons and, you know, just play through without having to dick around with making a new character and upgrade all my weapons again. That said, when Scholar of the First Sin came out, I really enjoyed that, and I had a good time doing that. I actually recorded a playthrough of that with voiceover back in 2016, and I had a good time doing it. It was right after Dark Souls 3 came out. So the Iron Ring of Keys is what you use to rescue Biorr, and he helps out with the boss, so I'm going to do that. But when I do that, I'll wait until I open the shortcut, and then I'll cut the video ahead to rescue him, and then I'll cut it ahead again to get back where I was. As far as the other Souls games, you know, I got over my dislike of Dark Souls 2, and now I really enjoy it now. But then Dark Souls 3 came out, and right around the time that happened, I had a minor breakdown, and I had to take some time off from work. So I spent 6 weeks at home just playing video games and going to the movies and having fun. And Dark Souls 3 was still new at that point, so I was playing that most of the time, and while I had fun with it because it felt more like a direct sequel to Dark Souls 1, I got annoyed with it because the combat's too fast and you lose stamina. You know, you lose too much stamina when you're blocking. And I'm not real good at rolling. You know, I'm almost 40 years old now, and back when Dark Souls 3 came out, I wasn't used to the fast combat. It was more like Bloodborne than Dark Souls 1. So when I got to New Game 7 in Dark Souls 3, I had a really rough time of it. One of the things I was grateful that Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 did, though, was, you could save your character's face, so if I ever wanted to start a new character, I can just, keep the same, without having to go through the creation process again. I always make the same girl when I'm playing these games, and pretty much any other game where there's a character creator, so it's nice not to have to screw around with the character creator and get everything back to the way it was. Whereas you can just load it up in Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. Whoops. So I didn't learn you could jump over this balcony right here until I played the remake version of the game. So that was a nice trick. So this guy gives you the official's cap, and then you can rescue the witch Yuria if you wear it. But I'm not going to do that in this playthrough. I've already bought everybody's spells with my real character, and, there's no reason for me to go trophy hunting, because I've 100%ed this game a long time ago. Besides, this isn't really a walkthrough anyway. This is just like a normal, standard, casual playthrough for me. Alright, so you see I've opened that gate where that guy was hiding behind, and I'm going to run back and rescue Biorr, and then I'll cut the video ahead to where I rescue him. Alright, you can see I'm back in the Tower Knight's room, and I'm going to run ahead to the door where Biorr is being held captive, and I'll rescue him because he helps out with the boss in this stage. And how could you not rescue Biorr? He's so hammy and funny when he talks and shouts that you have to love him. So this guy drops the bloody iron key, and that's what you need to rescue Witch Yuria.
Who goes there? You killed that vile insect and saved me. I am called Biorr, the other of the twin fangs of Boletarian. I thank you. You deserve a handsome reward. Only I have none. Go on ahead. I shall sleep a while.
Alright, I'm going to cut the video back ahead to the gate where I left off, so give me just a second to catch up. Hang on. Alright, you can see I'm back where I left off, so we're going to progress to the end of the stage and fight the rest of the soldiers up here. And then Biorr will help us with the boss. There's a whole group of soldiers up here, so that's what the bow is for. The bow gets a lot of play in stage, or in World 1. Between dragons and having to bait enemies out so you can kill them without getting overwhelmed. As well as the Black Phantoms in 1-4. These Red Eyes Knights are really dangerous, so it pays to just bait them in one at a time with arrows. They drop really high level grass too. Alright, so here comes the boss, the Penetrator, and Biorr is going to help me out, so I'm going to mute my mic here.
Some help? By the honor of the good knights, this demonic folly shall be stopped once and for all.
So you can see that Biorr does a ton of damage per hit when he's fighting with that penetrator. So he's worth definitely having if you have trouble with this fight.
Demon down! Fine work back there. There again. How could a demon ever stand up to a bona fide knight? Now you go on ahead. I must be getting older. I need some rest.
He's so hammy. I love Biorr. Alright, I gotta get myself into hyper mode so I can kill some phantoms up ahead. Tower Knight guy carries a scraping spear, so fighting him, hand to hand is not really worth it. So she drops the white bow that you can pick up in 4-2. The Tower Knight drops the Tower Shield that you can pick up where you go rescue Biorr. And the other knight drops the Penetrator sword. I'm going to have to get into hyper mode again one more time to kill another dragon. But I got an archer up here that I use to get back into hyper mode, so me refilling my health is just a way for me not to get killed or less likely for it to happen. There's a Red Eyes Claymore Knight up here that I want to take outside with me so I'm not getting shot while I try to kill him. See that shit? He killed me in one swing. Mostly because my guard got broken while I was trying to fight with him. So I'm going to let this archer put me in hyper mode, and then I'll go shoot the dragon down, but I'll cut that out of the video so again nobody has to watch me doing that. So I'm going to cut the video ahead here so y'all don't have to watch me shooting this thing. After you shoot the dragon's health down to about halfway, he flies off and goes up further in the stage. run up under him and shoot him in the face while he's breathing fire down at Biorr, and then I'll cut the video ahead again so you don't have to watch me shoot him down until he's dead. Video ahead here. Alright, so that's the dragon dead, and even if you don't do Biorr's quest line, or not Biorr, but even if you don't do Ostrava's quest line, you still have to fight his Black Phantom in this area. So there's a lot of legendary souls on the stairwell, and there's a knight sword and a knight shield down at the bottom of the stairs.
You need some help? Leave the flying lizard to me! May light shine upon our lord and our proud Boletarian! Boletarian! We managed, did we? That leaping lizard was more trouble than expected. Now, you go on ahead. You know me. I need a nap. That swooping monstrosity was quite a drain on me.
So if you do Ostrava's quest line, he'll be sitting on the stairwell here, and he'll die and give you the mausoleum key to get the demon brand sword. But here he is his Black Phantom. Drops the rune sword and shield, which is good for magic builds, but I don't know how good. I've never used them. And another thing about this part is sometimes this game glitches and it won't start the music for the boss battle, so if that happens, that's not me, that's the game. I'm going to mute my mic now because it's about to be a boss fight. that's how you fight a lot. You just dodge to the side and stab him, and if you see him charging up his Wrath of God's explosion, you just run up and stab him before he can activate it. And if you need to heal, wait until he's doing that and run away and heal yourself. The end of World 1-4 is probably supposed to be the final boss of the game, but the boss at the very, very end, that's more like a cinematic story closure. So I guess that'll do for this video. This is pretty long anyway, so I'm gonna end it here.
My precious demon. No human has an appetite for souls such as you. The rest is up to the old one. If it is to be, then you shall be back in again.
Like I was saying, I'm gonna end the video here, so I'll see everybody again next time.